I have been made redundant 4 times in my career. Honestly, the redundancy process is not for the faint of hearted. Today, I want to share my story of what it feels like to be made redundant and hopefully give you a little bit of comfort if you're going through redundancy. My first job as a digital designer lasted 1 year before I was out the door. Then it happened again in 2014. 2016, back then I was in my 20s. I was young, carefree, with little responsibility other than to look after myself. And you know what? I preferred the way they handled that process. Usually they were all pretty much the same. Decision made, here's your exit date. It was obviously harsh, but it did give me clarity and I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to update my portfolio, update my CV, start applying and lining up interviews. They even allowed me time off for interviews and even mental health days if I needed it. The main reasons for redundancy were pretty much always the same: financial reasons or my role just wasn't needed anymore. And out of all these times of being made redundant, only twice I've ever received redundancy pay, because you have to hit 2 years in a job role consecutively to even qualify for some redundancy pay. Some of the roles I worked for, I was only there for a year. Honestly, it's hardly anything, but something is better than nothing. Let's be real for a second. Being made redundant feels pretty shitty. It's not just about losing your job. It feels like you're losing part of your identity. You start to question yourself and think, am I even good at what I do? Even though redundancy is never personal, it really does feel personal. And why wouldn't it? You feel angry, ashamed, anxious, scared, and the worst part, you have zero control over what's happening. On top of all that, you're stuck back in interviews trying to convince companies how valuable you, while privately feeling completely knocked down. Now, the most recent one hit me different. This time, I was not that carefree 20-year-old. I had a family, I had responsibilities beyond myself, and honestly, I really liked the company. The team felt like a little family, and I know that's very cliche to say, but it's true. We had fun in the good times, we had each other's back in the hard times, and honestly, I got to work on some brilliant projects with some brilliant people. I also had a voice with clients. I loved the variety of work, and for the most part, I was happy. There were bits that I obviously didn't like stepping into marketing or sales tasks that weren't really anything to do with UX, but I did them because we supported each other. When redundancy came around this time, the process was brutal. Endless meetings, weeks in limbo, and even arguing to why I should keep my role. And I was basically going up against colleagues that I respected, and that was horrendous. At this point, I bowed out of the fight pretty quickly. I was not interested in tearing anyone else down to save myself. Everyone there deserved their jobs, and since mine was split between UX and other responsibilities, I wasn't 100% happy anyway. I even asked for voluntary redundancy. That was declined, unfortunately, so I had to just go through the full process. And honestly, I cried, I got angry, I felt all the emotions. But when the decision finally came, I was actually relieved. At least I had an end date and the limbo was over. But this time, the pressure was so much bigger. I wasn't just thinking about myself. I was thinking about my family. So while I was going through those redundancy meetings, I was also interviewing and juggling job applications. And also just trying to hold everything together at home. It was physically and mentally exhausting. But here's the silver lining. I did manage to land a job pretty quickly. Within 2 weeks of my end date, I was starting fresh somewhere else. In hindsight, I probably should have given myself a little bit of a break, but I was just so relieved and the anxiety is gone that I now have a new role. I just wanted to jump straight back in and just keep that paycheck coming through. So why am I sharing all this? Because if you are going through redundancy right now, one, I'm sorry, and two, I know exactly how you're feeling and it's valid. It's okay to feel angry, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to feel completely lost. This is all part of the process. But remember, it's not personal, It is just business. And as long as you keep that in the back of your mind, stay professional and keep moving forward, you will find your next step. And that's my story on 4 redundancies in 11 years. If you've been through something similar, I would love to hear about it in the comments. If you've reached this far in the video, why not put some little yellow hearts in the comments? And if this video give you a bit of perspective, then why not hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to share this with somebody who may want to hear it, then please do that too. You're not alone and you've got this. And that's it for this video. Until next time, bye.